The anger lie. What your instincts won't tell you, and science proves. You know that feeling. The heat rising in your chest like a wave. The world narrowing to a single point of injustice. A cutting remark, a broken promise, the casual disrespect. In that moment, the urge to strike back, to unleash the torrent, feels like the most honest, necessary thing in the world. It feels like strength. It feels like truth. But in the quiet that follows, after the slammed door, the cruel text sent, the words you can't unspeak, a different feeling arrives. A cold, heavy stone of regret in your stomach. Guilt. Shame. A silent whisper, why did I do that? This is the oldest human conflict. And across thousands of years and continents, the wisest among us have delivered the same shocking verdict, now confirmed by the cold gaze of modern science. Acting on raw anger is a trap. It is a poison you prepare for another, but drink yourself. The ancient Stoics called it temporary madness. Seneca warned that no plague has been more deadly to humanity. He prescribed a simple, radical remedy: delay. Just delay. Because anger is a fire that consumes the fuel of instant reaction. The Buddha offered an even more visceral image. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Think about that. The very intent to harm with your anger is the first and deepest wound. You are seared the moment you clutch it. For centuries, these teachings were profound metaphors. Today, neuroscience shows they are precise biological facts. When insult or threat strikes, an ancient, almond-shaped part of your brain called the amygdala, your primal alarm siren, hijacks your entire system. It floods your body with stress chemicals, cortisol and adrenaline. And to make you fight efficiently, it does something drastic. It shuts down your prefrontal cortex. This is your brain cell, the seat of reason, empathy, foresight, and moral judgment. It goes offline. You are, in that moment, operating with a diminished mind. You are physically stronger, faster, and profoundly less intelligent. You are in Seneca's madness. This is the seductive incentive of anger, a potent, addictive cocktail that makes you feel powerful and right, while blinding you to consequences. You act from this place, and for a moment, there might be a dark satisfaction, a feeling of release. This is the dopamine rush of perceived winning, the illusion of reclaiming control. But then the chemistry shifts. The hijack ends. The prefrontal cortex boots back up, flooding with blood and clarity. And it conducts a brutal audit. Now, with empathy online, you see the hurt in their eyes. With future forecasting restored, you see the rift you've created, the trust shattered. With self-awareness returned, you watch the replay of your red-faced fury, a stranger wearing your face. This is where the guilt is manufactured. It is not a moral abstraction. It is the brain's executive center surveying the wreckage caused by its own temporary absence. The ancient proverb says, "Anger begins with madness and ends with regret." The madness was the hijack. The regret is the report from your better self. The internal conflict is a civil war between two versions of you. The primal limbic self that screamed for dominance, and the social, empathetic self that values connection and integrity. The guilt is the pain of that higher self, wounded that it was silenced. So what is the way out? It is not to never feel anger. Anger is a signal, a brilliant, ancient alarm that a boundary has been crossed. The error is confusing the alarm bell for the firefighter. The wisdom, ancient and modern, converges on a single, powerful practice: the pause. When you feel the surge, your only task is to create space between the trigger and your action. So, physically, if standing, sit. If sitting, stay. Do nothing. You are denying the fire its fuel. Breathe. A deep, slow breath is not a cliché. It is a neurological command that tells your amygdala the emergency is over, helping your prefrontal cortex reclaim command. Ask the Stoic question: is this a threat to my life, or only to my pride? Ask the Buddhist question: what am I so attached to here? Channel, don't explode. Use the cleared energy later. State your boundary. Articulate your hurt. Solve the problem. This is Aristotle's golden mean: to be angry at the right person, to the right degree, for the right purpose. That is true strength. The raw truth is this: the anger impulse promises power but delivers powerlessness. It promises resolution but causes deeper wounds. That guilt you feel afterwards is not your enemy. It is your humanity reasserting itself. It is the proof that the hijacked you is not the real you. The next time the lightning bolt strikes, remember you stand at a threshold. On one side is the temporary, destructive satisfaction of the scream. On the other is the harder, more powerful dignity of the pause. Choose to feel the fire without feeding it. Let the signal pass through the quiet space of your awareness, and act not from a fractured, feverish story, but from your whole, capable self. For as the ancient Chinese proverb promises with devastating simplicity, if you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. The choice is yours. Choose the escape. Choose the pause. That is where your real power lives.